I actually started my business when I was just 15.
Wow.
At the time, I had to leave school because I suffer from a chronic condition called Lyme disease, and it was misdiagnosed at the time as ME.
Hi and welcome. If you've been on my page recently, you'll see that I've been doing a number of little videos about a startup event that I went to. So it was called Startup 2018 in a university in East London, and basically it was an event that gathered loads of really experienced business people and entrepreneurs, and they gave out their advice to the kind of next generation of people who are starting their businesses. So one of the entrepreneurs that I spoke to was Bryony. Bryony had such an amazing story that I think you're going to love this video. She basically has founded and runs a company that makes reusable menstrual products. So if you want to find out more about that, then keep watching. So we're sat here with Bryony, who has been running her company for 5 years, did you say? Coming up to 5 years, amazing. I'd love to hear a little bit more about your company and just kind of give us an intro of what you do.
So my company is called Precious Stars. We've been running, as you said, for the last 5 years. I actually started my business when I was just 15.
Wow.
At the time, I had to leave school because I suffer from a chronic condition called Lyme disease, and it was misdiagnosed at the time as ME, and only recently have I got that diagnosis. But at that point in time, I was very, very ill. I ended up housebound and bedbound, and I was just really bored, to be honest. And the products that I sell are reusable menstrual products. And the way that I came about these products and selling them is because when I was sick, I was stuck in bed a lot of the time, and like having a period in bed is miserable. It's really hot, sweaty, itchy. It's just not comfortable at all. So I discovered these products called reusable menstrual products, which are cloth pads, menstrual cups, are the two main ones. And I decided that I think I could make the cloth pads. So it gave me something to do. I went downstairs, took over my parents' dining room table, and just started sewing them myself and started making YouTube videos talking about it. And over the last few years, the YouTube videos and subscribers have grown, and the products have started selling even better. That's how we're here today.
Wow, so that's a really interesting story. So it came out of like a personal kind of experience that you had that drove you to make the business. What was your kind of transition from, making these in your parents' house and promoting them on YouTube to kind of turning it into more of a business?
It was very back and forth, actually, to be honest, because I started making them, as I said, myself, and this happened for about a year. I was manufacturing myself with the sewing machine, and then very quickly I realised I wasn't well enough to keep up with the demand that was happening, so I decided that I needed to get a manufacturer. And at the start I started looking at China because it's the easiest place to get them manufactured, so I changed the design a bit and just took a generic pad that was manufactured in China and just changed the print a bit and started importing it over here and sort of took over the budget end of the market, which at that point in time didn't exist, to be honest. So I sort of found that niche within a niche already. But over the last 2 years, I really wasn't happy with just having the Chinese pads, so I wanted to develop the UK side again. So more recently, what I've done is I've developed a range of pads that are now manufactured in a small factory in Warwickshire, so within the UK, to support like local manufacturing, because that's a really big aspect of the business. People like that sort of social aspect of it and supporting UK businesses too. And of course, having the products themselves, you have to package them and send them out. So about 2 years ago, I moved from having, literally, when I moved out of my parents' house, I turned my old bedroom into a stock room.
Factory.
Yeah, pretty much. So I moved that to a distribution warehouse, which is in Northern Ireland, and I've been using them ever since.
Yeah, so it's quite a kind of step-by-step progression for you,
Yeah.
I guess. What have you found has been like the biggest challenge? Or do people, when you say, I want to start a reusable menstrual product company, what's people's reaction to that?
To be honest, I just started it and was like, okay, it's brilliant, I'm going to do it.
Yeah.
I didn't really do much market research. But I knew that it was a product that would take off because so many women are menstruating, and environment, they're so much better for the environment, that's become a big issue. Recently people watching Blue Planet and seeing the plastic in the sea, and disposable pads are terrible for that because they contain the same amount of plastic as 4 disposable carrier bags.
Wow.
So they take a long time to break down. So people are becoming more eco-conscious, so the idea has sold really well. I think the biggest barrier I've faced has actually just been my mindset. Every time you want to get bigger, you think, I can't do that, like I'll have to have tons of employees and everyone, and you don't. I have a VA who helps me remotely, but other than that, I could run my business from anywhere in the world right now. It just happened in little steps, and you can take baby steps and get there. I think the important thing is just to trust that you can do it, and that will really help.
Have you made any kind of big errors along the way, or anything that you think like, oh God, I wish I'd done that differently?
That's a good question. Have I made any bigger? I wouldn't say there's been anything dramatic that I've done that I thought, oh God, why on earth did I do that? I think one of the biggest errors I sort of made was not being pushy enough with the manufacturers. When I first moved into UK manufacturing, you have to be quite persistent with them with, can you give me a time that this is going to be ready? And I underestimated how long it would take. So if they say it's going to be done by January, assume it's going to be March, would be my best piece of advice.
That's good advice.
And then if you get it earlier, brilliant. But if you plan for March when they say January, you'll be in a better position. I do that now and it's much easier.
That's a good piece of advice. So just take what people say with a little pinch of salt.
Pretty much. When the manufacturing industry do, and they're not really that good with customer service because that's not what they specialise in. They're not the actual business. They just make the products. So yeah, do your research. Snoop around a bit and see what you can find. Try and find at least 2 or 3, I think. Mine was so niche that I only really found 2 that could do that. But if you're like in clothing or in a general product, you probably will be able to find a couple that can do it. Get the quotes, compare them, see how long the times are, and just take the time. Basically, do your research, and that will really help.
Great. So you've got your distribution coming out of Northern Ireland now. What is next for you in 2018, or what's the big goal?
Ooh. So my big goal for this year is I want to start making 6 figures profit. Because I have it all in place. I need to grow it now, doing more PR, getting into more magazines, that kind of stuff. And that's partly why I came here today to Enterprise, actually. So just growth is my main goal for 2018 by PR and with profits.
Awesome. Well, thanks very much for taking your time out. It's really great. If you enjoyed this video of Bryony, there are quite a few more on my page. So I spoke to loads of different entrepreneurs in different fields and just sat down and had a chat with them, really, with the goal of learning what makes a good business and what's made them successful. So the link to the playlist is in my description. If you enjoy the videos, please do subscribe. Thanks very much.